Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crash Bandicoot. Hope you're doing well out there. What was that?
I said we're slightly broken people.
Yes.
I had a bit of a rant at the end of the last episode. I'm sorry, but...
She really
said.
isn't. However,
Yes.
once again, Wolf out of Ricana is joining us as we go after Koala Kong.
I actually do like Koala Kong, and I did not know that this was the game he was in. I thought this was just something. I thought this was just he was just added in a Crash Bash, pretty much like Dingo Dial. Because I didn't know about Dingo Dial until after I played Crash Bash as well, and I like Dingo Dial. But we'll get to him when his boss fight comes up in Crash 3. Did I make it? No, I didn't make it to this boss.
Wait, it doesn't stop you? Why include that? Why?
What'd you went? You went to the middle part?
Yeah, I thought that was a boundary line. I thought it stopped you.
I didn't know that either. I was just asking because I was curious.
No, you can walk straight up to it. Why?
I don't know.
This game, I started with such high hopes. I thought it wasn't that bad. I thought it was just Sonic Adventure 2, but no, it turns out I am just that bad at platformers. Sonic Adventure 1 was a fluke!
No. That game just took it easy on you, that's all.
Welcome back to platformers. Here, we'll give you a nice strawberry lemonade. Enjoyed your time? Good, now have the Mike's Hard Lemonade version. As you play Sonic Adventure 2. Okay, now we're going to introduce you to...
bad.
Now we're going to introduce you to heroin.
Drug free, we don't care.
Sonic Adventure was a gateway drug confirmed. I mean, it's the only way that can explain a swole koala in the middle of a mine chucking rocks at you while playing as a bipedal marsupial that shouldn't even be here when he was supposed to be a wombat. Being looked after by an aboriginal mask.
After basically being created by the very same person we were trying to stop from taking over the world. Which, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the plot for this game. There is... Crash Bandicoot was a failed... It was a quote-unquote failed experiment by the very person that is stealing his girlfriend every time we finish the good bonus stages.
And he's enjoying...
He was created by Cortex, but, you know, Crash kind of has the brain the size of a postage stamp.
That's done.
I'm sorry, were you telling me that's not nice?
I said, it's done. Now we can go back to the hard stages.
If I remember correctly, I think the next one is Pinstripe? The next boss?
Yeah, but right now it's heavy machinery. But I'm going to use this opportunity to just go ahead and save. $30 lives going into heavy machinery. Failing a bonus round doesn't cost lives, so retry it.
Yes, dude, no. We didn't know that. Sorry, I do tend to get a little salty about the tutorial hints. that they put on the loading screens. Specifically for the first level in Crash 2.
Okay, there's no way in heck we can get through this without taking damage of some kind. Wait, we can stand on the frozen pipes?
Yeah, the frozen ones you can stand on. I was actually about to say something, but you started jumping, so...
Is there something down there?
I don't... Yes. Yes, there is. I don't remember if this was one of the levels you could complete or not, so... Don't quote me on that.
Oh look, Dota Q is playing Pokemon Sword.
Ooh?
Oh, someone I play Monster Hunter with over on Twitch.
Oh.
When I was doing my run of Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Ah.
Okay, why is there just a random thing down here? It begins.
Yep.
Guys, this will be a little bit of information about this game. You see how all the platforms are square?
Yeah.
Well, originally, Crash also had a square hitbox. And the remake, they gave him an oval hitbox.
Interesting.
Which leads to these lovely moments of, did that really happen? I thought I adjusted it properly. So yeah, I'm not going to say Vicarious Vision did a bad job. They didn't. They did a wonderful job with this game. But there are certain things that were changed, which do change the overall experience.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Of course, I didn't want to mention it because I didn't want to blame everything on that. I still don't, because I know I suck. But just fun trivia.
Yeah, and for me, it's been... When did Crash 2 come out exactly?
I forget.
I think it was 97, 98, somewhere in that area. Because I do think, if I remember correctly, I do believe Crash 3 came out late 2008. 1998. I'm sorry, I haven't... Look, my age gets to me sometimes. Anyway, but it's been well over 20 years at this point. So, I mean, this came out
Checkpoint.
This came out for the
Original PlayStation.
Well, yes, but this came out for the 20-year celebration of the Crash Bandicoot games way back on the PlayStation.
So wait, you
yes,
can't
I
even...
know it took this long for me to actually bring that up.
However, this raises the topic of what's your feeling on remakes, remasters, and rehashes of the original ideas coming back?
It depends. There are some things that, although I love you guys, Vicarious Visions, there are some things that you changed that I do not like. But we'll get to that when we get to games that are more familiar to me within this little trilogy here.
That's not what I asked, but okay.
I mean, we're starting with that. For me, when it comes to remakes, remasters, rehashes, whatever you want to call them, it's a mixed bag. Because you got the ones that were bad, and maybe they can make them good. But then you got the ones that are bad, and then they don't change anything, so it's still bad, it's just got a new coat of paint.
Yep. Personally, I've been in the field long enough to know that there is such a thing as a lazy remaster, a lazy port, and really good remakes. No!
Which, I should probably save this for like, well, I mean, you said you probably weren't going to touch Spyro at any particular point, but I will touch on it here because Spyro and Crash kind of have a brotherly love going on here. Usually, whenever Crash does good, they tend to look to Spyro for the next cash grab, target, guinea pig, whatever you want to call it here. But even ports can be lazy, and I say this with all the love I have in my heart for, I think, who had the rights to Spyro at that point?
Insomniac, if I recall.
No, that's for the PlayStation trilogy. I was talking about the Legend of Spyro reboot.
Oh, I actually don't remember that one.
I want to say Universal still had them at that point, because Universal had them for Enter the Dragonfly, A Hero's Tale, and I think the Legend of Spyro series was another one that they had, and Dawn of Dragon was the last thing that they had before Activision got their grubby little paws on it. Anyway,
Is that gonna shock me? No.
Going with that trilogy in particular, there is such a thing as lazy ports, as I say. The Wii version of The Legend of Spyro: The Eternal Night is one of them.
Okay, there's nothing else up there.
I had one heck of a time trying to beat that, playing that. And bear in mind, I was in high school at the time, so usually that's not a big deal. But for the fact that they had enemies that could essentially stun block you until you ran out of health, which even the PlayStation 2 port of the first game, A New Beginning, was kind of like that in some ways. It was worse with the Wii version. Not necessarily for the motion controls, which, yes, that game does have motion controls. Thankfully, Dawn of Dragon fixed it, but you were still able to use the motion controls to an extent.
How are you supposed to reach that?
The thing with that is they had some relatively difficult bosses to deal with, to the point where if you went at them head on, they would just constantly, each time you were beating on them, they would barely lose any health, but they could just easily just snap at you the entire time with the mouth of the creature they were riding on, and it was difficult to deal with. All I can say is, thank God that they figured that they had this one thing you could get, which helped me out so much with New Game Plus modes.
Oh.
Which was being able to use the dark form of Spyro. Because yes, that was a thing in the mid to late 2000s. Everything had a dark form to it.
Everything had to be gritty and edgy and dark. And have guns like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes, but I mean, well, Sonic is actually a pretty good example here. Sonic and the Secret Rings, for one, had a relatively dark version of Sonic called, I think they called him Dark Spines Sonic in that one. I don't know why, but it was essentially, that was the Super Sonic of that game.
Oh, you thought we were going to bring up Sonic again? We only had one episode without it. Now you had to hear it again.
Yeah, but this one is just a quick touch, and then we're going to move into the actual subject, which was Spyro there. Within the Legend of Spyro Eternal Night, Spyro had a form known as Dark Spyro, which all it was Spyro was completely black. He had like this smoky stuff coming off of him, this smoky, shadowy stuff coming off of him, and his eyes were like completely illuminated in white. His teeth fangs, whatever you want to call them at this point, they were also illuminated in white. And he was just completely brutal. You can hold down the Z button, he does this combo that is completely unblockable and will basically destroy anything as long as you had the mana to do so. Those still took a good 2 or 3 runs of hitting them with that before they went down. I don't know any other version to really compare it to. But bear in mind, for this trilogy, A New Beginning, Eternal Night, and Dawn of the Dragon all had a copy for the PS2 and or the PS3. A copy for, I know the Legend of Spyro had at least a PS2 and a DS copy, as well as the Xbox, the 360 I believe, and GameCube, I want to say. I do think it might be Wii, but I never owned that version. The only Wii copies of that series that I have are Eternal Night and Dawn of the Dragon. But with that, each one of them had that many. And I'm gonna go and say it now, the DS versions were kind of the worst ports.
Wait, there was a box down there.
So that's my little rant about Spyro there. And unfortunately, that was his last game. That was his last trilogy I really ever touched until, well, this style of revamping that came to Spyro. That was the last time I really ever touched a Spyro game since then. Because after that, it became Skylanders. And for anyone who's familiar with Skylanders and did not like the design of Spyro, there you go. We have something in common. I hated that too.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up here. Hope you all enjoyed the show, enjoyed her rant, and we'll catch you all with her next one in the next episode. Have a good one.
See you later.
There will be more rants. There will be.
Yes, there will.